What quirky thing does your partner do? I've noticed on days my husband gets to sleep in, I can tell when he's awake because he starts farting. There will be like 3 or 4 farts in 10 minutes time. He's awake and playing on his phone at that time. When he's really happy about something and gives me a hug, he jumps up and down a little while hugging me like a little kid. Talks shit to his brother in his sleep. It's hilarious the insults he throws at him. My favorite was just a new Chester cheese motherfucker. Giggles when he's injured. Literally cannot tell the difference between him laughing at some dumb injury or nearly dying while the blood gushes. Have had to explain this to others who've tried laughing with him. Stop laughing, you idiots. He's really hurt. She sneezes with the little achoo sound. And she does it calmly like she's reading the phrase in a book. Upon arrival home from work, he will disrobe down to his underwear immediately as he walks in the front door, and as the dog squeals and dances for joy to see him, he does his own little dance and sings a made-up song called Wiggle Worm, and as soon as his work clothes are off and folded on the shelf by the door, he gets down on the floor to heap loads of affection onto that spoiled, anxiously waiting dog. I think I'll keep them both. His main love language is physical touch, so we engage in what he calls maximum closeness, where he cuddles me super close, and we touch one another as much as possible, legs intertwined, arms around one another, cheeks touching, etc. It's nothing sexual, he just needs the affection. She never puts a new roll of TP on the holder. She will set a new roll on top of the old empty one. 20 years together and it's been the same every single time. At first I thought she was fucking with me. At this point I'm thinking she's too embarrassed to ask how to do it. The annoying thing, uses every knob as a hanger for some bag or kitchen towel. Every time I have to use a drawer I have to move something. The cute thing, she is very excited about the little things in live. We went on a walk today with rain boots to jump in each puddle on the way. Makes a silly sound anytime he does something that makes a loud noise by accident. It's his way of immediately indicating to everybody around that heard it that nothing is wrong and it's all okay. I've started doing it too now unconsciously. I catch myself going hoo 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 or some other silly sound if I drop something that makes a loud noise. She will apparently dunk any bread-like food in any beverage. French toast in her morning coffee. Hot dog in a glass of soda. Beef sandwich in a cup of tea. I have yet to see any exceptions. Some people are into whips and chains and leather. My wife's fetish is Christmas decorations. As in something like 43 boxes of them at last count. And I'm a guy who grew up in a family where Christmas consisted of a tree, a wreath on the door, and a ribbon around the mailbox. He brings home abandoned, stray animals. Currently sitting next to a giant labradoodle he found abandoned at a gas station. Big guy is going to his new forever home next week. My youngest cat was plopped onto my chest while I was sleeping when she wasn't even a month old. According to him they locked eyes and she ran up to him. I got too attached to her to rehome. Walked in one night after work to a giant cage housing a hedgehog. Previous owners were giving her away because their daughter wasn't caring for her properly. Still have that one, too. I could go on, but I fucking love it even though every time it happens it's like, here we go again. She'll get into the car but not check to see if there's anything on the seat first. I could have a toolbox on the seat and she wouldn't notice until she actually tried to sit down. It's hilarious. Also, when she's really enjoying a meal she'll make random quick little sounds without noticing. It's adorable. Always sneezes when she wakes up. Nearly every morning within 5 to 10 minutes of stirring she'll sneeze. Own a drawer full of underwear, wear like 5 of them alternating. Start every eBay message with hi, then later go back and change it to moin. Fall asleep on the uncomfortable mini couch and refuse to move tilde 5 meters to the bed. Always mess with maps while I'm driving. She's learning English. I text her way sometimes when something good happens. I guess she liked this because now whenever something good happens, she says way out loud. I think her record is something around 20 times in a day. When she was a little kid, my wife had a feather boa, and being a kid she would pluck the feathers out and roll them up into little balls between her fingers. It became a comfort fidget thing and she's done it ever since. We buy boas from Hobby Lobby all the time specifically for this. I find feathers everywhere. In my clothes, in the bathroom, in the couch cushions, anywhere you wouldn't expect them to be you'll find them. I absolutely love it. I think it's the cutest thing ever, but she's really embarrassed about it because her parents would hate finding them everywhere, but it's the little things you'd never expect to love about a person that find their way into your heart. Like boa feathers. Smile. She knows I don't like saying the word bye. I have anxiety and overthink that it'll be the last thing I ever say to her. But I always feel obligated to say bye if she does. So she kisses my head, says, "Mwazah, bye." When she's telling a story and says the other day, it can mean any time from this morning to 5 years ago. Sometimes when we kiss, instead of kissing me she'll chomp me on the nose. It's cute usually, but sometimes it hurts. She also gets upset with me if I get rid of the really long eyebrow hairs I occasionally get because she likes to play with them. When we're jamming in the car he'll play the melody on my leg. And he just sings unashamedly. I find it utterly adorable. Oh, and sometimes he'll just squeeze me while we cuddle. It's like a twitch, he says. Again, I love it. I forgot one. He likes to rub certain materials between his fingers, and won't buy shirts unless they pass this test. I must learn what it is, so I can buy him clothes effectively. Some of my clothes pass the test and I find him doing it absent-mindedly. It's just so cute. Every time she wants to do something, she will say it in the form of a question directed towards me. Hey, do you want to have a bite of one of these cookies? Babe, do you want to try this wine? I don't actually think she realizes she does it every time. Edit, this isn't a bad thing. It just makes me laugh every time before I inevitably say yeah sure. Oh cock, is it just me or does everyone's BF shadow box them all the fucking time like I'm trying to cook and dude is fake beating my ass? He kinda started this thing we do. One time we were kissing and he blew into my mouth for a laugh. Needless to say, I retaliated later in the same way. It's kinda become a dumb little thing we do now. Tongue. He likes a special kind of spoon for his coffee. About 2 years ago, when I realized that our set of cutlery was missing several parts, where the hell do they go? I bought a new one, but since the old cutlery was alright, just incomplete, I didn't throw it away. Now we have 2 sets of cutlery in the drawer, but always use matching ones for the table. Before that, my husband had complained that sometimes he won't find a clean teaspoon because they're either dirty or in the dishwasher, so I bought a separate set of 6 teaspoons that look different from both of our cutlery sets. We have also a few of these teaspoons that you sometimes find in the big tea bag boxes of our mud tea, which I drink daily, as a freebie. So all in all, there are 4 different kinds of teaspoons in our household. He only uses the fancier ones from the second set for his coffee, because they look nicer, he says. He's never asked me for it, but he did mention it once when he was making coffee for himself. Since then, every time I bring him coffee, I make sure that it's served with his favorite kind of spoon. He's over 60 and some would regard it childish, but what's the harm in considering his preference? Smile. She literally cannot stop dropping and breaking things like plates, sunglasses, etc. Really talented athlete and smart to boot, but oddly clumsy. I think it's cute, but gets expensive. He stutters for a word and then I give him the word he's looking for. He says yes. That. So on so forth with what he was saying. My husband loves doing unexpected things. Like, he will walk into the bedroom and I'll walk in a few seconds later to him bent over or just standing next to the door or laying on the floor next to the bed. We both crack up so much. Some other unexpected things he has done. I ask for something, like a drink, and he brings me the remote. Then we laugh and he gives me the drink. He'll say he's going to chop something, then grab a spatula and actually try to chop the thing with it until I notice and laugh. He loves just walking by me wearing clothes of mine hoping I'll notice. Like, my bra on his head or my nightdress or a choker on. Sometimes he goes suddenly and I'm like what? Like worried and he just says I love you. That's all I can think of right now. Edit, my husband is so cute and I can't stop thinking about it, so here are more examples. He will go to the store for something, then go here's a treat. They didn't have your favorite but here is your second favorite. Then when I'm like oh, okay, thanks for this though he goes just kidding. They did have your favorite. And give that to me too. He loves going look at that. And then when I look and say what he says, something like look at that sunset or isn't nature beautiful? Or a Long John Silver's used to be there. He starts pretending to be sick, in pain until I come to him and he asks for cuddles. He used to do this one seriously but I told him it made me feel too scared when he did it, so now he does it in a super jokey tone so I know it's not real and we can still laugh. Some cooking is his night, some cooking is my night, some cooking is free for all. Sometimes on his night, he will say I'm feeling so yucky, could you make dinner tonight? And I say guess what do you want? And he goes just kidding. Here's dinner, it's so cute. When he shaves after a while of growth, he loves shaving different styles on and saying I think this is my new look. He's done mutton chops, a soul patch, and half-face look. When we used to use dressing rooms, he would put something on in the wrong size and be like I'm not sure if this looks good on me. When a steaming service isn't working, he pretends to be a boomer like, ugh this technology, I bet my grandson broke it when he set it up. None of this makes sense etc. He cannot properly remember the lyrics to any song. And he insists on singing it his way even after he's been corrected about the lyric. My wife is native Italian. Italians are weird. It's like they have zero concept of personal space. I am a New Yorker. Personal space is our thing. You don't get too close, you don't rub up on people on the subways, you leave a little space between the person you are talking to. Italians will get up like nose to nose with you. Stand right behind you. Like leaving no space. Often I will be in the kitchen, making tea or something and I turn around and bam. It's like my wife wants to stand in my shadow. Or I am getting something out of the closet, and back up, and bam. She is like right there, trying to become one with me or something, instead of walking around, and just leaving that inch or two of personal space to allow movement. All her relatives are like this too. When they talk to me, it's like they are standing on my toes, that close. Like, back the fuck up a step or two. Damn, it's creepy. How she takes her pants off. She'll pull them down to her ankles, usually with her panties. And then do this weird side kick type move till they pop off her foot and then do the same with the other side. I find it incredibly endearing. When he is writing an email and thinking the words he's going to use, he moves his hands like he had the person right in front of him and he was talking to that person. It's super cute. She will randomly grab my hand and give it a gentle bite. She sometimes hisses when she disagrees with something she will say. Text what doing. She has her own language consisting of minion sounds. I love this girl. They grab my pudgy parts and just rub it. Or they'll bite me in those areas and kiss it after. And only when I'm focused on something else, TV, video game, like a wet reminder he exists. It infuriates me, but if he doesn't do it I feel weird lol. She hoards gas station cups. The disposable ones. That most people would throw away. She's not reusing them, either. She just empties them in the sink and then leaves them next to the sink. I regularly go in and throw them away, but I think my record disposal at one time was like 15. Just chillin' in our bathroom.